very common topic that you're going to see in Hapkido is circles, and that can be in a lot of different ways. I already have a video talking about the circles, but we're going to demonstrate some of those techniques in this video. When I'm teaching new students, I like to go over a simple exercise with them where they grab each other by the arm and they just hold on like this. They're not really worried about technique much. We're showing them the power of a circle, and what we do is we just have one person in charge and then one person just waiting, and then they'll take turns. And what you'll do is you'll step into the opponent and then wrap your outside leg around them and pull. You basically just switch places with them, and what that shows you is how much just moving your body can create force. So if we do that again, what I'm doing is I'm grabbing. You can do the first step inside, or you can pull from the outside and make a bigger circle where you're just here. What you're just trying to do is create tension and make this person at the end of a rope, and you're making a circle with them, and that's going to help you be more in control with your techniques. So getting into some more technical stuff, just the basic idea of the circle is if I'm trying to take down my opponent, and let's say I'm just trying to put pressure on the arm, if I just put pressure here, then the only force that's applying here is my own strength and my own weight. And the problem with that is my opponent's size and shape and weight can change, and the bigger they are, the harder they are to move down, while my force stays the same every time. So what I want to do is I want to introduce their mass into the equation. And what we know from physics in centrifugal force is if you put something on a string and then you rotate it, then the mass of that object being rotated matters in the equation. And basically what that means in simple terms is the bigger my opponent is, then the more force is going to be generated in the technique, while I'm staying the same every time because I'm a constant. I'm the same person in every situation. So putting that into practice with this technique, like I was saying, if I'm just trying to take somebody down by pushing on their arm, you have the arm bar technique. If I'm bigger than somebody, I can probably force them down with my strength, and I can rely on that, but I don't want to. I want to have this work in every situation, and that's what the circle does. So when I'm pushing down, I'm practicing that technique we just talked about while swinging my leg to the outside and putting a force here, and it makes it so much easier to get your opponent to the ground. If you imagine there's like an object like a baseball coming at you, and you can somehow stick a string into it as it's passing by your body, and then hold on to the other end of that string as it's going, then it changes its direction, and you're going to be in control of where it's going after that, while using the force that it already had coming at you. So when techniques are coming at you, or an opponent is moving towards you, you can apply the same principle, and you can turn their energy into force that's going to help you to subdue the attacker in whatever way that you're trying to do. So we see this in a lot of different ways. We talk about when somebody's throwing a punch at me, that I'm trying to create circular motion, and I can use that. We've seen that in different techniques that we've done before, getting into positions where I can take them down. Instead of deflecting the attack head on, and instead of trying to just resist the attack, I'm letting the attack run its course, and I'm using it to help me. That's the principle of Hapkido that we try to instill in the new practitioners. So another example of this would be if somebody's throwing a punch at me and I'm blocking in a circular motion to get it away from my body, and I'm continuing that circle here and then just pulling it on the outside of my body. I can throw my hip into that. We can make that a little more complicated. If somebody's throwing a punch and I move in that direction, I can come inside and then lift to throw over the body. It's the same idea. Instead of throwing around the hip, which can be hard in some situations, I can get over the body and then get my opponent under me, and then I can perform some sort of immobilization from that point. I would just, if you're new at this, try to practice that first exercise that I showed you, just trading places with your opponent, having each other grab just at the arms. Don't worry about where you're grabbing and how you're grabbing. Just worry about the circular motion, keeping them close to your core. The more you pull into your body, the closer it is to the center of your gravity, and the more control that you're going to have. So you don't want to be swinging somebody with arms outstretched like that. You want to have more tight pull, and then that's when you can apply those pressure points and then the different takedowns that we might have learned before, or other techniques that you've seen. So if you have one takeaway from this video, just let it be that when forces come at you and when you're trying to defuse an attack, use the attack to your advantage rather than trying to put your own narrative on it, trying to force a technique that doesn't really work in that situation. Be available to whatever is happening and practice in many different scenarios so that you can be ready for them, instead of just having one mindset and trying to make it work when you're in a situation that it really wouldn't. If you enjoy these concepts of Hapkido, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching and keep training.